This is Nimish. Welcome back to my channel. Today we are going to review the movie Kumbalangi Nights. This was a wonderful experience to watch. This movie stars Shane Nigam, Sobin Sahir, Fahad Fasil, and Srinath Basi. All these actors who I've seen in other movies in general. Shane Nigam has starred in a couple of lead films which are, he's playing the lead in, but I've not watched those. But I've watched him in other movies. As well. And everyone else, of course, Sobin Sayer is extremely growing as an actor and a director and a film artist. Basically, Fahad Fasil is on top of the game right now with Varadan, Carbon, and this movie, and Nyan Prakashan also becoming a big hit. And Srinath Basi, who's always doing character roles in very impactful manner. So this movie, essentially, the first thing I want to say is that the performances by these four people drive the movie, keep you engaged, and is extremely delicately handled and very well enacted by them. They four have distinct personalities and distinct characters which are extremely well written, something that we don't see in the commercial movies or in the general movies, where and especially in Bollywood, where characters are just caricatures and there's no depth to them. This movie explores the complex depth of every personality and how different people are, how they can be of, they have positive sides, negative sides, they have highs and lows, happy and sad moments, all of that. So it's extremely well written as a movie for the characters concerned, and the casting was so good, or rather the acting was so good. More than the casting, the acting, delivery, and understanding the characters was so good that these four people just nailed it. The best among them, obviously, it's very hard to pick, but as based on a surprise element, I think Sobin Sahir did really well. And he has a most nuanced and most graphed character which has so many dimensions to it. And no spoilers here, but we know what happens towards the interval, what happens to him post interval, and it's very difficult and complex. So I think that he played all his emotions really well, and he's the star of this film. Fahad Fasil plays a very grey character who's unpredictable. He brings the unpredictable element every time he comes on screens, which is extremely mysterious and interesting to watch. And it's sort of scary also because you don't know what he's going to do, and it's kind of like he's always on the edge. He could be this side or that side. There's no prediction of what he's going to do in a scene, and his sort of weird personality and manipulative personality and awkward sort of behavior was unbelievably well enacted. He's just one of the best actors ever. And Malayalam, he's obviously from the Malayalam industry, but Malayalam movies specifically, because he's acted in two Tamil movies, but in the Malayalam movies specifically, he really gets to shine by doing all these nuanced performances, because in this industry you're allowed to do that and explore that, and the writing is such and the direction is such and the filmmaking and the audiences are such that they allow you to explore, as opposed to other industries. When Fahad did two Tamil movies, one was Velaikaran, and his second movie is coming up, which is Super Deluxe. In so obviously I can't comment on Super Deluxe, but in Velaikaran he definitely seemed like that all his nuances didn't come across. It was just the direction style, it was the role that was given to him, and the amount of screen time that he had. It just didn't shine, he didn't shine in that movie as he could have or he should have. He definitely enacted the role well in Well Like Karan, but it didn't come across and it didn't create any impact. So hopefully in Super Deluxe there is a little more of an impact, but that just shows how, based on the industry, the direction technique, and the writing technique, it can just make or break actors like Fahad. And so in this movie is just the one of the best roles I think he's ever played, and he's just on top of the game right now. Nyan Prakashan was a big hit. I'm yet to watch it, which is a light-hearted drama. Carbon was a very mysterious, adventurous movie which I really loved. I don't think I've reviewed it yet, so I need to review that. And Varadan was again a big hit amongst people in Kerala. I really like the delicate nature of that movie, but in all those three films, I'm guessing he didn't act or didn't have a character in general which was as complex and difficult as this one. So in this one, he was really fantastic. Shane Nigam, I think he has done two love or romance based movies where there are troubled lovers and things like that, and he's been supporting in a couple of movies. In this movie, he gets to do something similar again in the romantic area and just, general boy next door, boy from the village, boy from the small town, regular boy. Um, who has his own personality, who has his own chilled out attitude, who has to face problem in his romantic life or who has to deal with the romance of his life. So he did that very well, and I think he's also extremely natural. And there's something about his personality that if you cast him in a movie, there will be a different character to him. Just like Vinayakan and Dilish Potan and these supporting characters who but just by nature bring something to the screen. And Chemban Vinod, that's the name I was looking for also. These guys bring their own personality to a movie. I think Shane Nigam does that also, which is great because that's what is much needed in the Malayalam film industry where supporting cast is like the main cast of the movie. This, I think, is the finest performance by Srinath Basi. You might have seen in the past where I've got him confused with Neeraj Madhav, and I felt in one movie that he was not that good. But I think in this movie, he probably delivered an unbelievable performance. That's why I said it's hard to pick because this was also one of my favorite characters, and the way it was enacted, it was really hard to pick between these four people. But I think that the fact that he's mute and he doesn't speak, he really just played it very naturally. While watching his performance, I realized how over the top a movie like Barfi was, where the character is so cartoonish and so animated and sort of in a Disneyland world where he has to do so many sign angles, so many facial expressions. Whereas this is the reality of someone who doesn't speak. This is exactly how they are in real life. They are not like Barfi. They are like Srinath Basi. They are very normal. You won't even know for a while if you don't interact with them that they can't speak. They have accepted it. They are the way they are. They know how to speak with the people around them with basic sign languages. They don't have to over the top make faces or over the top try to be someone they're not. So I think that was the main takeaway from his performance, that just keep it natural, and he did that very well, and also keep it impactful, conveying emotions unlike Burfi with excessive hand actions and emotions and crying and all that. He's just conveying it very naturally through silences and pauses, just like anyone who can speak in movies. So that was the biggest takeaway of a big lesson for many people who watch this movie, that that's how you should act. And that is really, really good. And I think big credit to the director of the movie because he's the one, and the writers, who basically made this movie in a way and handle the actors in a perfect way to make them act in such a way. I'm sure the actors got their own stuff to the table, but it is up to the director to accept or not accept, to retake or not retake. And so I think that although it's a team effort, amazing direction to make sure that those performances came out, amazing writing and amazing sort of narration ability and sort of storytelling ability to get those performances out and then to present them in this way. The movie in general is obviously a very simple tale of these four characters in the same neighborhood who just daily lives have their ups and downs, and a particular point in time, just like a lot of Malayalam movies where I speak about, it's about a point in time. It's nothing like from start to finish, hero villain, a big event happening. It's just literally the day-to-day lives of these characters at a point in time, which goes through a particular journey. It starts in the middle very randomly of their lives, and it ends also very randomly in the middle of their lives. So clearly there is, in general, I would say, scope for much more. There is scope for sequels. There is scope for stories of these characters coming out on their own as a separate film. So there's a lot of scope left in this movie and a lot of exploration that can be done. It won't be done and it shouldn't be done, but that is a great way to tell a story for the audience to feel like, I want to see more. I want to see what these characters do next, what happens in their lives next. That is a big achievement for such a movie, which is very simple and straightforward and based in sort of a very small scale. So I think this movie really delivered what it promised to deliver from the trailer. It is a feel good movie. It has a good share of laughs and comic moments, which are very delicate and sensitively handled, as well as impactful. It's not over the top slapstick. It's just real day to day people talking to each other, but makes you feel like it's funny. So all in all, this is a very entertaining movie. It is very well enacted. It is very well directed. Now, is it one of the best movies I've ever seen in my life? No. Is it one of the best films of the year? We have to wait for the year to finish to see what happens. Is it one of the. Did this movie actually release in 2019? Okay, thank God I'm right. But, is this movie Fahad Fasil's best movie ever? I don't think so. But yes, it is a movie that I'm pretty sure the Keralites will definitely cherish, enjoy, watch over and over again. In fact, I want to watch this again at some point. But it's one of those movies that you have to watch and you have to respect and you have to sort of give credit for it to and spread the word, spread the love for the movie. So it's a great movie. It's a great experience. I don't know if there was scope to make it better because this is how it was written and this is how it should have been delivered, and it just did what it supposed to do, and it sort of achieved what it wanted to achieve. So overall, this was great, and I think that more movies like this, every 6 months will keep the Kerala audiences very happy with such performances, such art coming out, and it's a great sign for 2019 that a movie like this did well, is doing well, great feedback from the audiences, and is also being made even in 2019. So it's a very big hopeful future there where it comes to such artistic movies. So I'm going with 4 stars for Kumbalangi Nights. I hope you like this review. Like, comment, share, subscribe, and take care.